Hey everyone, so this is going to be the advanced Excel, more advanced Excel pivot table example that we did in the ASL session recently. So if you remember, I sent everyone this email that had this delivery data practice file in it and this alignment file in it. Those are the two that we're going to be using for this exercise. So we went through this in the session. And I know we didn't have a ton of time to do it, but this should hopefully be more helpful. You can pause and rewind if necessary. But if you remember, so this is the delivery data practice sheet. So this is what delivery data looks like when you export it from DoorDash. And I think we went through that. Hopefully you're familiar if you're going to be pulling this with how to export from DoorDash, but it doesn't really matter because the concept behind this is when you have data like this, that in this case, say you're a market coach or Chris Zoo or I or whoever, and you have all stores here, but you want to sort it by area coach. How do you go about doing that? Obviously, you could do it manually. You could come in here and like add a column and call it AC, and you could come in here and the store number is here, and you could come in here and type in everyone's AC name, right? But that's a big waste of time. We're going to do it the much more efficient way, which is you're going to add a column and title it AC. So if you haven't done that, go ahead and do that. And make sure you also have open this alignment sheet. And so with this alignment sheet, I'm just going to, you can either copy this you can either do this, like copy this and paste it over here, or you can copy the whole sheet, create a copy, and move it to the delivery data practice and just move it to the end. It doesn't matter. You can do it either way. I like to just copy and paste the break of data. I think that's easy. And then I'm going to resize it. So hopefully you know how to do that. Just hold all the, select all the columns and double click one of them and it'll resize it perfectly. So now what we have here is we have all the stores and we have AC names. And these are all fake AC names that I sent over. Probably wasn't necessary, but it just seemed it's always good to anonymize. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to use an XLOOKUP. So hopefully you guys remember XLOOKUPs. We're going to go equals XLOOKUP, and the open parentheses. The first thing we're looking for is always the value that we're looking for from the sheet we're in to look up in the other sheet. So in this case, it's almost always with these things store number. You guys are probably sick of hearing that. So I'm just going to, what I did there was I just arrow keyed over to the right, or you can go like this and select it. It's kind of hard when you're typing and you have to select the cell next to it because it sort of goes under the formula. But you can see it's selected there with the box. So G2 is what we're looking up, right? Comma, we're looking it up in this other sheet, right, where the alignment is. And we're going to select all the store numbers because that's what we're looking up, right? And at this stage, remember, we want to lock this because we never want this to move. So if you want to do it the really easy way, just hit F4 and see how it just locked that whole range. So you can undo it too if you just keep hitting F4. So this is what it should look like when you typed it in or when you selected it. Then just hit F4 once, comma, what we're looking up is the AC names, right? So we're going to select that whole row, and we don't want that to ever move either, do we? Because that the only thing that should be moving is the store number on the other tab. So hit F4 again, lock that whole thing, close parentheses, enter. And you should see that an AC name is populated in here. So remember, we locked these two references to the two ranges on the other one, and then we left this dynamic because we do want this to move up and down, right? When we copy and paste this formula. So now once you're done, you copy that formula and paste it in this whole range, and you have your AC names. So the whole point of that was so that we can now insert a pivot table, just like we did in the previous example. So again, just select this corner one. If you haven't seen the previous video on pivot tables, I would watch that one before this. Insert pivot table, just like we did last time. It selects this whole range because we selected the corner of it. We want to just click OK because it's going to do it in a new worksheet. And voila, here is our data for the pivot table. So in this case, the thing that we wanted was we added this AC column, right? Because we wanted to sort by AC. So you just do exactly what we did before, drag AC down to rows. And in this case, I'm also going to drag down the store number. The thing you got to be careful with on this one is that store ID on this is actually nonsense. This is what DoorDash uses, not our store number. So you just chuck that if you don't want it. Merchant supplied ID is actually our store number. So you're going to drag that one down. So now you should have AC names, fictitious AC names, and stores under them. And now you can just start adding whatever data you want. So average dasher weight, why not? There you go. Average avoidable dasher weight, that's really the more important one. Avoidable cancellation rate, there you go. And these are a little awkward because these are technically percents, but they show as values here. You can format that if you want to. But it's a little annoying to format. But yeah, so this is essentially how, if you need to add data to a data set before you do a pivot table, that's how you do it. Now we have a perfectly usable pivot table that's sorted by area coach because we didn't have that in the original data, but we just pulled it in from the alignment so that we actually had the AC names next to the store numbers. So again, hopefully that's useful. Very often when you get data sets like this, they won't have all the information that you need to sort the end product the way you want to sort it. Yeah.